Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about this guy here. You've seen my first impressions, and now this is the next day. I've spent a little bit of time tweaking it around, getting the tune right. You've seen a sound test video. Here is the tune as it currently stands. It's pretty good. It's not as great as I actually had it slightly better just 30 minutes ago, but basically I had to resort to fixing it because it would bind. And the one thing I've found out, which is really sad in my opinion, is this Balisong really benefits from changing the hardware. So I've changed the male hardware. The female hardware is fantastic and I love how it looks. Good job, JK, for that angular hardware. But I've changed the male hardware because the older baliplus, and this is actually off of the aluminium tsunami or something like that. But literally any of the older baliplus hardware just seems to take a much better tighten. I can't tell if this is even fully tightened. No, one handle's loose. Let's see, is it the bite or is it the safe? Because one handle's been giving me a few problems. Okay, the safe handle here turns out to be loose. But obviously it still flips really good. So yeah, literally just hardware problems really I've been having, just screws coming loose. Which obviously is a bit, I would say it's fixable with Loctite, but I tried putting some Loctite and it didn't seem to help. One handle will always be fine and the other one just ends up being a bit crappier. Maybe it is the pivots, maybe all the hardware needs to change, but I really don't want to change it. So for me, I'm just going to try and solve something. So if I come up with something, I'll let you guys know. But other than the hardware, which for most people, it's very easy to change. You just take these screws out, put different ones in, which if I were to do, it would most likely solve all the problems it has because the tune is good. It's just the hardware, right? Baliplus changing up their hardware for the first time in a while. It's got nothing on the back, so you can't crank it down like crazy, so you need really good heads. Sadly, this doesn't have really good heads on the stock hardware, but I also don't want to use the other set. I know you get a spare set of hardware because I want to save that for one of the Monarchs because I like how the hardware looks, and if I can, maybe that other hardware is better, but basically that's the only problems I've had with this thing so far, and it's really just because I'm a perfectionist and this isn't quite as bouncy as I'd like if it were slightly tighter. Maybe these screws aren't even that good either, but we shall see. Only time will tell. This is why our first impressions isn't always the most reliable, but I can tell you this thing has been an absolute joy to flip. I fixed the issue with the tip. Mine came with a slightly bent tip. Yeah, fixed that up nicely. There you go. See that? Re-tipped it. And this thing is just an absolute pleasure to flip. Genuinely, once I figure out the problem with the screws, this is going to become probably a top flipper of mine. This thing, from the sound to how bouncy it is, to how comfortable it is, to how it just plays in the light. I mean, it's nuts. I really enjoy it. I've also slightly dulled the blade just so it's not stupid sharp for YouTube. Also, I just don't like flipping dummy sharp knives. And you can see here it's slightly loose. One handle is slightly loose, and I'm pretty sure it's a safe handle. Where if I were to just show you now the tolerances, you can see, yeah, so one handle is coming loose. And I mean, this is still very much a good tune, but the tune that I got on it from the factory, that bounce is still, hidden away within a loose handle. And I mean, don't get me wrong, this is still bouncy, and this would be perfectly fine if it was just like this, but it wouldn't be as cracked of a Balisong as it actually is, were it not for the amazing tune potential. I think they finally got their blades worked out. It's got phosphor bronze washers. They are extra thick, so you will need probably real JK washers if you want to substitute them, but they're actually pretty good. I would say if you are going to get this Balisong, probably use the non-included washers, like the spare hardware washers. They're a bit smoother. You might have an easier time getting a tune on them. I'm still using the ones that just came in here because I've been pretty happy with how it's gone. I might just put some Loctite in, before I travel. I'm traveling soon, which is why I'm kind of grinding out videos for the time being, and just see how I can get this thing nicely done up, because if I Loctite it and then leave it, for a week to set and really rock harden, and which is probably what I'll end up doing with these screws, hopefully I can come back and this thing will, cause me no problems at all. Really need to find a good way to Loctite these Balisongs though, because the Loctite that comes with some of these things, you know, it's not always been the best. The Arm Shark stuff is pretty good, but, you know, basically that's the only problem I'm having with this thing. Otherwise, I mean, look at it. Look at it in the sun. Beautiful blade. Don't know what blade steel it is. Probably VG10 or something. But these lovely, lovely handles, which literally just look like they've just come straight out of, you know, JK's batch workshop. I'm really curious, how does the 8-hole sound? It'll probably be slightly more handle biased, but I think it's a little less ringy. But the ring on this, it's like they just took the V2 and just turned it down, the volume, but then made the bounce extra. And genuinely, that's perfected this Orca for me. This is definitely the best variant of an Orca. It's not even close. For people who like the V1 and like the V2, this is better than both of those. The V1 by the 1, obviously, the V2 being by baliplus. This is literally just better than both. This milling here makes it nice and grippy, but still really comfortable. You don't really feel it unless you do this. Obviously, the hole pattern on the side, I think, is a classic Orca staple. It's got the jimping, which the V1 didn't have, but it's got the classic kind of V2/V1, you know, I guess V1.5 kind of hole pattern with the V2 style bottom handle bits. It's got the double slits here. It's got these bits off of the, yeah, it's just great. The blade obviously is, you know, straight off the V2, which I think, you know, JK did a much prettier blade on the V2 than the V1. And so that's why you got this V1.5, which is just phenomenal. I love how it sounds, how it flips. The balance is great. It's actually not what I would normally go for in a balance. You know, it's a light handle bias, but it's a slightly heftier Balisong, and gosh, does it carry its weight well. I cannot wait for the Monarch, because if it's better than this, I'm just going to be nuts. And also, I'm super excited for the Serif, because if the Serif has this level of quality, hopefully the hardware is better, which I'm more than willing to swap in some seriously nice hardware onto the Serif, depending how it is. Camera ran out of storage. Basically, I just plan to beat the Serif, so I'm more than happy to put in some good hardware. But yeah, this versus the Serif is going to be a really, really interesting shootout, and I can't wait to see how that comes out. I've been really enjoying this thing. I'm going to be trying to fix out the hardware things, and once I find a good solution, I will let you guys know. But this thing feels super steadily built. I'm going to definitely be flipping this thing a lot. You'll be seeing this guy a lot more often. I can't believe how good this is. Now I wish I had a good V2. I probably wouldn't have bought this, but then I would have missed out big time, because this thing is great. It's not crazy loud. It's just right, honestly, in so many areas. And of course, baliplus being baliplus, it had to have one bad part, which is the screws. And you can see it's definitely this handle. It's just coming loose. So I'll just find a way to, maybe I'll try Teflon it. That's not a bad idea. You know, Teflon usually is pretty durable. Or you know, super glue it in. Yeah, I'm gonna try to put some Loctite on this screw and see how it comes out. And otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how it is. I mean, even with a loose screw, it's still bouncy, still flips great. So yeah. Anyways, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what questions you have about the V1.5, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.